What is going on, guys? It's your boy Januelve. Hope you guys are all having a great, phenomenal day. Look, I truly, had an understanding of what Web.1 and Web.2 and Web.3 was, but now I know a lot more in depth into it. Really, I would honestly get confused between Web.1 and Web.2, and I'm being brutally honest. And I know that there's some people out there that are probably in the same spot as I was, but then they just are ashamed to even look it up. But no worries, I was in your spot, so I understand where you're coming from. And me, as being empathetic and knowing where you are right now, I'm your guy, and I'm going to tell you what a Web.1, Web.2, and Web.3 is, and what are their differences. So let's get right into this video. First spot, we obviously have to talk about the beginning, which is the Web.1. And what exactly is the Web.1? Earliest version of the internet. And basically, the Web.1 is mainly about things such as Google, Yahoo, these websites that allow us to search things that we question. It could be whether it's a math problem or the definition of chemistry or whatever it is, you could search it on Google and Yahoo, and that's what they offered. But there was just one problem that they didn't solve, and that problem was how to communicate with people across the world and your loved ones and whoever you wanted to talk to, people that you'd never met before. And that was a problem that the Web.1 had. But even though it is still alive today because we do need it to search certain things, Web.2 solved that problem. So what is the Web.2? Is the solution to the problem of Web.1, which is basically you couldn't communicate with people across the world, and you couldn't communicate with your friends and family and loved ones and people that you want to talk to that maybe you haven't met you haven't seen in a long time or talked to in a long time. And that's what Web.2 solved. The problem that Web.1 had, you can only search things and look them up, and read them, but you couldn't really communicate with anybody else. And that's the era or the generation of social media such as Facebook, Wikipedia, Snapchat, Twitter, and so much more. As I said, that's Web.2 in a nutshell. It's basically the social media. Where you're able to communicate with other people, you're able to put out content and show people things and put up videos and blogs, etc. That's the Web.2 era or the Web.2 generation. But now moving on to Web.3, which is what we are actively living, or what is starting to grow now in the day. And what is the Web.3 exactly? The Web.3, it is basically the new era of technology, or the new era of the internet. And specifically, what is it? It is something that has to do with the blockchain. This is basically the opposite of Web.2 in the sense, what sense am I talking about? What sense do I mean? That the Web.2, such as Facebook and Instagram and so many other apps, are able to have your information. But the Web.3, it is difficult for them to hack or for them to gain your information. Yes, I can see your wallet and see what you own, but I can't really hack your wallet and take what you own. But in Web.2, they're able to take your data, your information. That is the difference between Web.2 and Web.3, by the way. It is not the only difference, obviously, but it is partially the difference. So I think that is why Web.3 is going up so high, because it is a problem that Web.2 had that Web.3 solved. Now, the Web.3 is basically things such as, cryptocurrencies, which is Ethereum, Bitcoin, etc. There's so many other cryptocurrencies, and then as well as NFT. NFT are digital arts. If you don't know what that is, I suggest that you start reading, because that is our future. So now to the best part of all, what are the differences between the Web.1, Web.2, in Web.3. The Web.1 specifically is about search engines such as Google, Yahoo, etc. So you can not communicate with others, but you can search certain things. But now, then you can move on to the Web.2, and that's basically where you communicate with other people through social media. And then the Web.3 is the next phase, or what is coming, and what we are currently living, which is digital assets or digital currencies or digital arts. So those are the different phases, and those are the differences between the three. So what are some examples of these three webs? One is about owning content. Web.2 is mainly about sharing content, and Web.3 is about consolidating content. So those are differences between the three. Another difference is that Web.1 is about web forms, and then Web.2 is about web applications, and then Web.3 is about smart applications. Finally, Web.1 is about directories, Web.2 is about tagging, and Web.3 is about user behavior. So those are differences of Web.1, Web.2, and Web.3. So basically, what is our next phase? The Web.3, which is going to be digital things. Maybe in the future there's going to be even digital real estate. Well, not maybe. I already think that they're forming things like that. So I think that those people that are not into Web.3 or don't know nothing about it, I strongly suggest that you do so, because that is what is coming. And if you don't take advantage of it, other people will. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope it has brought you guys so much value, and I hope you guys have learned something new through this video. I truly hope that, because I learned something new by literally just creating this video. But let's not forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time that we upload a video. Also, go and smash that like button. And finally, go ahead and check that link in the description below so that me and you can communicate through social media. I have TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, and so much more. So go ahead and check that out below. Please go ahead. I will love to communicate with all my subscribers and anybody else who is watching here. But as of now, let's get to business. Hey, you haven't subscribed and you haven't hit the notification bell, so what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time that we upload a video. But as of now, let's get to business.